that you're not that big of a Star Trek fan. I am, and always have been.
Yes.
From the time I was probably... I can't remember whether Star Wars was the first thing that got me into science fiction or whether I was watching Star Trek before then.
Yeah.
Because by that time, it was in syndication already. So I could have been watching Star Trek before I saw Star Wars, but I don't remember. But the point is, as long as I can remember, I've watched Star Trek.
Yeah.
And the other day when it was announced that he had passed away, it was just really difficult for me to just wrap my head around that. For almost in my entire life, that man has been a part of my movie, TV viewing.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so it's hard to, like you said, it's really sad, and it's really, I mean, of course, that stuff is still with us, and we can still watch him in the show. And the same thing with DeForest Kelley. When he passed away, it was really sad, but he hadn't been in the, I guess, in the spotlight as much, because he had pretty much retired from acting, hadn't done anything with Star Trek since Next Generation, the little cameo that he did in the pilot episode of Next Generation. So when he passed away, it was more kind of a footnote. But Leonard Nimoy was still a vibrant part of the Star Trek franchise. I mean, he had been in the last two movies, so he was still a vibrant part of the Star Trek franchise.
Right.
So for him to pass away, it was a big deal, and not just for Star Trek fans or science fiction fans. It doesn't matter if you've ever watched Star Trek or watched any science fiction. You still know who Mr. Spock is.
Oh, absolutely.
It was a cultural phenomenon. Everybody knew he was the guy with the pointed ears.
Yes.
And so it had really transcended the show, not only the show and the movies, but science fiction as a niche market, and had broken out into a really big cultural phenomenon.
Yes.
So it was very sad to hear that he had passed away. And a friend of mine posted the commercial he did with Zachary Quinto.
Yeah,
I think it was an Audi commercial. Mm-hmm. And in that commercial, if you can go to YouTube and just search Leonard Nimoy, Zachary Quinto. Mm-hmm. Zachary Quinto is the guy who plays Spock in the new movies.
Yes.
So you've got the two Spocks, and they're racing to the golf course, and the thing of the commercial is Zachary Quinto is the new Spock. He's driving an Audi, and Leonard Nimoy jumps in a Mercedes.
Yeah,
and so he's falling behind, and they're showing all the cool new stuff that the Audi will do and all this, but during the whole thing, you get Leonard Nimoy cracking jokes, and you see his really great sense of humor,
right,
and ability to kind of poke fun at himself at the same time. Because at one point, he's driving. They show him driving along in his car, and he's singing the Ballad of Bilbo Baggins.
Oh wow, wow, that's good. That's good.
So yeah, you see you get a look at the guy himself and how and what kind of a very charming, fun guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, and stuff like that. Especially when you see that now, I think it makes it even sadder that you see how much joy he brought to all these people, and it's just sad that he's gone now.
Well, the one thing that I found looking through, like interviews with him, because again, when these characters from the old Star Trek would show up on Star Trek Next Generation, or they would show up on Deep Space Nine, it was good. It was good to see them, but it wasn't like when Spock showed up. When Spock showed up, Spock didn't show up for just any reason. I mean, he was there because there was something wrong. Well,
it can't be exaggerated the effect that he had I mean, I think if you take Leonard Nimoy out of the equation of the original Star Trek series, it would not have been as successful.
Absolutely. Have you seen the interview with him where he explains the hand signal?
Many years ago, I know it was a Jewish a Jewish thing that they would do. That I forget what it meant.
Right.
It was like, it's kind of almost like the live long and prosper. It was something that they would make the sign that would meant like peace and long life, I think.
Okay.
Or something like that.
All right. Well, wow. That's it's tough for
I mean, not to tear everything down.
Yeah.
Not to drag everybody down here, but
hey man, look, when something like this happens, especially to us that are part of this culture, and we see this. I mean, it's just like when Robin Williams died. Well, even so, it's more than for us, for me maybe, than when Robin Williams died. Robin Williams was a great actor. Don't get me wrong. He did some wonderful movies. Centennial Man. He was part of my childhood when I grew up watching Mork and Mindy.
Yeah.
And my mom would always refer to it as that warp stuff that you watch. But to know that Leonard Nimoy is gone, wow. That's
yeah.
Just
kind of makes the world suck a little more. But again, like I said, it doesn't take away the body of work he did. So we can always watch the original series and watch that again.
Right.
So,
and to make things better, we know that Buddy's there.
Jeez, there he goes. Well, to be fair, he had to spend part of the afternoon in his crate while the DirecTV guy was here installing everything. So
this is not my fortress of solitude. They can try to convince me all day long, but this is the Phantom Zone. Guilty.
Actually, I put him in there, and he was fine up until the point the guy started drilling outside the house, and it sounded like something growling.
Oh.
So he started growling back and was barking from inside his crate. So
okay,
that's hysterical.
So getting out of the sadness that has been dawned on us from this past week,
descended upon us.
Yes. What else do we have to talk about?
Well, we also had another thing. It was a little scary, but it wasn't quite as sad. Harrison Ford actually was involved in a plane crash.
Yes.
It was a World War II single-seater plane that he was flying.
Yes.
Developed some type of engine problem, and it went down. Yeah. He is okay. As his son tweeted out, he's battered but okay.
Right.
So, personally, I think we should have been looking for TIE fighters. I'm just saying.
I think he came out of that plane kind of like Slim Pickens was in 1941. Have you ever seen the movie? Steven Spielberg.
A long time ago.
Yeah. Well, Slim Pickens, he was very artful with what he said. But anyway, I'm not going to go into it because I would have to be bleeped out. Of course, it's Slim Pickens.
I'm sure. But yeah, that was, like I said, it was a little scary, but he ended up he is okay. He's in stable condition, I think, and he's going to be okay. But and people have on the internet have been having fun photoshopping some pictures of the crash site to show the Millennium Falcon crashed into the golf course instead of the plane. So, but yeah, you think about when they put that up, and you think, okay, Leonard Nimoy has passed away.
Yes.
Now, I mean, when it first happened, you didn't know what had happened to Harrison Ford.
Yes.
And you start thinking about, okay, Leonard Nimoy plays one legendary science fiction character.
Yes.
Harrison Ford is 3.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, his contribution to geek culture is just off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
Han Solo, Indiana Jones, Rick Deckard from Blade Runner.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's crazy.
Yes.
So, but hey, nobody's taking out Han Solo. So,
Well, look, I do have what was described as what was going on during the plane crash.
The force is strong in this one.
So, with that, a speedy recovery to you, Mr. Harrison Ford. And if you know Harrison, please tell him to listen to the show.
Yeah, sure. If he wants to do an interview with us, tell him to get in touch with us. We'll be glad to put him over.
Look, you didn't even mention his role in Aliens and Cowboys. Aliens versus Cowboys.
I still have not seen that. I need to watch
It
that.
is a really good movie.
Yeah, I want to watch that.
I mean, it seems like it would just be just hokey and corny and stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it is.
No, it's not.
Oh.
That's the thing. They did a really, really good job with it.
Yeah.
I was impressed.
I mean, look, when you have James Bond in the Old West, and he's got this gadget around his wrist that can take out aliens, and that's the only thing they got can take out aliens, then, hey, man, this is a movie. I thought it was going to be like Sharknado bad, but it turned out to be really, really good stuff.
As a matter of fact, I think I want to watch that again.
Absolutely.
I wonder if it's on Netflix.
I don't know.
If you want to see it, probably not.
No, see, Dixon, that's you.
Oh, that's me. Sorry. Yeah, actually, speaking of Sharknado,
Yes.
they announced who is going to be playing. I have to scroll down here and find it.
Are they doing a third one?
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. Oh, yeah. And, good Lord. And they have announced, they have cast Mark Cuban as the president and Ann Coulter as the vice president.
Well, now.
Now, if that ain't a horror movie, I don't know what is.
Hey, and look, the good thing about this is they get Mark Cuban from Shark Tank.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
And Ann Coulter is just a harpy. So. But yeah, that they just announced that. I don't know if they've started shooting that or not, but they announced that they've cast them as the president and the vice president. We also got this week we got the new Avengers trailer.
Ooh,
a lot of goodness in this one.
Yes. Now hold on a second. I told you that I didn't see it, but the question is, maybe I did.
I thought you said you did.
Say again.
I thought you said you had seen it.
Oh, well, now hold on a second. I've watched a lot of things this week, and some of it pertain to what's going on in Ninja Troll, and some of it pertains to wrestling.
Okay, did you see the Vision?
I did see the Vision. It was a brief moment. It was a brief moment right there at the end.
Yes. So you saw the new trailer.
Yes.
Yeah. So we got to see a close-up view of the Vision. Mm-hmm. We got to see Quicksilver, Cold Cock, Captain America.
Yes.
And we got to see there was also a shot of Scarlet Witch, obviously controlling Black Widow.
Yes.
So we got. I mean, I'm ready to like camp out for tickets for this now.
Well, I do have good news for Bryce Anthony. Bryce, I'm telling you right now, I want to see this movie before I see Superman and Batman.
Well, you're in luck because it comes out before.
Oh man, look, I gotta throw it out here. The movie Chappie.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see it. I know that Johnny Five is alive.
Yeah, that's something we were talking about before the show started. Yeah, I think their marketing, if they're not careful, their marketing comes off like it's a fun little family movie, where, like, for lack of a better term, the Johnny Five Short Circuit thing, where it's a wacky little thing, but it's not. It's rated R.
Yeah,
there's a lot of violence in this movie.
And hey, I can't wait to hear the theme song from this. Who is Chappie?
He's a psychotic murderer. So yeah, I think it's more RoboCop than Short Circuit. So yeah, I don't know, and I actually haven't heard any of the reviews, so I'm not sure how it's being it's been received out there. That I know it's out now. So,